Imagine for a moment your trip to the high street. What comes to mind along the journey of your purchase? It's the symphony of sensations, colours, sounds and interaction. A vibrant tapestry that keeps us coming back. It's the promise of a wealth of flavour made by the chocolate shop window. Cracking the spine in a bookshop, your adventure can often begin before you leave the store. Your favourite boutique in that soft cashmere pullover that reminds you to value comfort over price. Some things are worth every penny. Shopping without a list and allowing the scent of a freshly baked sourdough to guide your decisions. The high street is not just a location, it's the heart of our community and the embodiment of shared experiences. It's as much about what you bring as what you take home. And because of this, we're confident that face-to-face interactions are here to stay, and the same goes for in-person payments. Enough emotion, it's time for cold hard facts. 87% of payments are still made in person. Here at Aevi, we work with partners around the world to make sure that in-person payments remain at the heart of the customer experience. We know it's easy to pay online, which is why we look to digitize the last mile of the in-person checkout experience to make sure every interaction is easy, smooth, and holistic. Of course, we work with large acquirers and big global retailers, but we also work with ISOs and ISVs to help smaller merchants compete with the big guys. At Aevi, we're setting payments free. Can I get a flat white, please? With all payments on one platform, what could be easier? With the majority of face-to-face transactions in urgent need of digitization, that's where Aevi comes into play. Of course, that all sounds easy, but the in-person payments world is fraught with complexity. So how do we achieve everything that we're promising? Well, here at Aevi, we've built a cloud-based in-person payments platform that solves many of the challenges of the in-person world while delivering better experiences all round. Our platform starts with the core integration interfaces that we have. Now, historically in in-person payments, it's been a bit of a silo, it's been hard to interact with other systems. So we've made sure that we've built our platform to be fully intercompatible with any other related systems, be those e-commerce systems or an acquirer's existing systems for onboarding their merchants. So we have three major types of integration that we talk about: onboarding for getting new merchants and terminals into play, transacting, and then we have our reporting integrations, which give full up-to-the-second details of everything that's going on. The second big challenge of in-person payments is the terminals themselves. I'm sure everybody's experienced walking into a shop and paying on a little grey box with lots of buttons on it. That's what we call a PIN pad. And if you want to have an estate with many different types of payment terminal from many different manufacturers, many different providers, you're going to end up with a very hard estate to manage. Then when we go over to the acquiring side, there are many different ways that you can accept those payments. You can get those payments processed through many different acquirers or directly with many different payment schemes. And finally, we talk about the data area of our platform, and that's where we gather together all of the different data points and bits of information about those transaction flows. And all four of those things come together to become our in-person orchestration system. So what do we do in each of those areas? Well, on the integration side, I've already mentioned those APIs that we have that bring the in-person payments integration much closer to the things that people are now used to in the e-com world, where you can actually get integrated and up and running within days rather than weeks or months. It also gives a lot more feedback to those third-party systems about exactly what's going on in their estate and what the current state of everything is. When it then comes to terminal estates, we are a fully agnostic payment solution provider. That means that we can support terminals from many different manufacturers across many different types, be they the more classic style of payment terminals, Android smart POS systems, or even evolving payment solutions like tap-on phone and soft POS. We're able to manage all of those devices, we're able to operate very similar merchant experiences across all of those devices to give our customers a real holistic operational experience and allow them to sell a unified experience to their merchants. Alongside that, we're often pushing the boundaries of the types of payment terminals that are out there in the world, working with smaller manufacturers to bring across innovative payment solutions to the merchants and the customers of our customers. Of course, because we're agnostic and we're not tied to any one particular manufacturer or payment system, as the in-person payment space evolves, in whatever direction that might be, we're going to be there ready to support those estates, ready to support those in-person systems in the future. When you couple all of that with our management interfaces, allow that estate to remain up to date, secure, and transacting for as much time as possible, you get a really nice experience across a whole range of in-person payment devices. As I mentioned, on the processing side, the way you actually capture that payment can be vastly different depending on what type of customer we're working with. Of course, with our acquiring customers, we allow all of those payments from many different terminals to come through to their one acquiring endpoint. But with many of our customers, one of the key selling points of our platform is that we have full flexibility as to how each and every payment is routed. So we can integrate to multiple different processing paths, and we can switch those processing paths ad hoc from any terminal to any processing point. The way our in-person payments platform works is it allows us to decouple how you capture the payment from how you accept the payment. With that, we're also able to evolve payments estates over time. Many of our customers have a current payment processing path. They may use one of the large acquirers in the background, but they see in their future the need to be more flexible and to be able to change acquiring partners when they need to grow and evolve as a company. And with our system, we can enable them to deploy a set of terminals, and when they need to change their processing paths, then we can add those flexibly in the background of our platform without them needing to redeploy their payments terminals. Finally, I want to talk a little bit more about data and our data platform. We primarily do two things with that data. First of all, any of our customers can get live, real-time data feeds of any of the information coming through our platform. Whether that's up-to-the-minute information about the transactions that are flowing through their platform, or live statuses about where their terminals are in the field, which merchants are using them, which merchants aren't using them. Now that sounds quite basic, but in the in-person payments world, that's still pretty unique. By being able to give them up-to-the-minute, near real-time information about their estate, it brings them huge value, not just for them, but for their merchant customers. They can now put up portals that allow their merchants in real time to see the actual status of their in-person payments. And of course, that data set's constantly growing. The more transactions that run through our system, the more trend data and broad information we can give to our customers about exactly what they're seeing in their payments estate, what's unique, where they match up with other customers, and where maybe they need to go and reach out to their merchants to give a little bit of extra support or information about the way they want to use their payment terminals. So if any of the things that I've talked about have struck a chord with you, or you want to have a conversation about a future-proof in-person payment solution or staying ahead of your competition, feel free to get in touch with us today.